wife Georgiana, right here. I call her Georgie. Y'all say hi to Georgie. Thank you very much. A number of years ago, I picked this spot out myself. Pretty high ground, as you can see. Going back to the edge a piece. Strategic interest in that will become very apparent later on. I was born in 1839. Just in case I don't remember all my facts and figures, just keep on top of me, all right? My memory ain't nothing like it used to be since I died. I was born in 1839. My parents were Bill and Sophie Hicks. My granddaddy was originally from Philadelphia area. He remembers as a boy, he remembered the Revolutionary War. He moved my daddy over to Hagerstown, Maryland. That's only about 30 miles from Gettysburg, back when he was growing up. So my daddy, he was raised in Hagerstown, Maryland. As he got older, he decided that he was going to move the whole clan. Most of us weren't born then, but he moved the whole clan out towards the frontier. Loaded everybody up in an ox cart. We headed out over the mountains. Took off from there early 1800s. Got as far as Wheeling, Virginia. Most of y'all remember that now as Wheeling, West Virginia. But that's because of the Civil War. Back then it was Wheeling, Virginia. We got there in the beginning of the winter and we were just going to stay the night. Apparently somebody offered Daddy a job as a stagecoach driver, so we ended up staying all winter long and staying through till the spring. Springtime come, and we loaded everything back up in an ox cart, continued over the mountains, and headed out towards Ohio. Got to Ohio, Daddy was offered a job as a potter. Apprentice as a potter. He got pretty good at it. In fact, he was eventually made superintendent of the plant. Knew how to throw all that clay stuff. Seeing as though that probably enhanced his opportunities when we finally got to Michigan, he took advantage of it just as good. And that's where I was born, was in Ohio, 1839. Apprentice as a boy a little bit, kind of looked around and helped as a baker for a while. Most of my actual work history, I apprenticed as a stonemason. Figured that would help Daddy when he was doing his pottery stuff. My brother Byron and I, maybe we could build the building so that we could put business up here in Michigan when we eventually get up here. We continued on our route. We got here in 1857. Got up here and Daddy made himself a pottery business. We sold jugs, crocks, tableware, plates and cups and such. Did all that for a while until the war came about. Byron and I did our duty and we enlisted in the Army, and I first enlisted December of 1861. Worked for the 6th Infantry, 6th Michigan Infantry for all 1862. And my year contract was up, so I got out of the Army in December. Came back up here for a while, for about a year or so. December or January I got out. I must have been January got out. Anyway, spent about a year up here, and the war was still going on, and they needed our services. I was a baker back then. Figured that was a good occupation. If you're going to list an occupation, that should be taking chickens out of Target. service. Spent the next 2 years until the end of the war, until August of '65, August the 20th of 1865, I got mustered out in Jackson, Michigan. Baker for the 13th Michigan Infantry. I was with the Company H for the 13th Michigan Infantry. My second tour there. Like I said, I was at Baker for a while there until our drummer boy got injured. He got shot up, and I was with the drum and fife band. And as a boy back in Ohio, I picked up the drum and did my best to encourage those boys to go on to victory for Old Glory. Spent some time doing that. Came back up here, 1865. As I'd been a baker for the Army now for a while, I figured I'd open me a wholesale bakery operation. And our baked goods and our bread and such. Different stores all over this area, all the way from Diamonddale down to Rive Junction. And his pottery business went out of business while the boys were in the war. We did our part until the bakery burned down. It burned right to the ground. I'd also, I think I told y'all, I apprenticed as a stonemason when we was in Ohio when we were stopped up there. So I figured with as much as Eaton Rapids was booming about that time after the war, I'd make myself a living as a stonemason. We did that. I think you all have seen some of my buildings. I built the Catholic Church on the other side of the river over here. Helped Mrs. Bromley. She owned that hardware store. She married Mr. Pettit. Ended up being Bromley Pettit hardware business. Now I think it's just the Pettit hardware business. Her house is just across the bridge from the island. You see it on the right-hand side, great big old stone house. She and I picked out just about every stone individually. I say that to be politically correct because I think she picked out most of the stones. Did that. We built ourselves, Byron built himself a house up on M99. It was Michigan Road back then on the left-hand side, if you all have seen that one. He built me a house, finished it in 1914. I was 75 years old when we finished that house. 1914, finished our house on the riverside of north of town here. We're also the stonemasons that built the original Sparrow Hospital. So we laid a lot of stone. Georgie and I had us 9 kids. I loved her a lot. We had us Amy, and there's Jacob. Poor Jacob, he only lasted about a year. There's William. The girls, there's Eva and Addie. Ida Bell. There's Altie. There's Benjamin. Babe. Given names Hazel Pearl. We called her Babe. She's the light of our life. Anyway, the kids kept us pretty busy. Stuck around here until 1921. I've been residing right here since 1921. Like I told you, I picked this spot out. When I did it, I told Georgie after the war that this is as far south as I was going to go. Ever again. We did that. Like I said, you can tell why I picked it back from the crest of the hill back there. Because it's a whole lot safer here. Thank you for coming. It's nice to see y'all.